Hey YouTube, let's talk about the pretty tree. And the whole magic of evergreens. It seems to be a thing many different pagans did. They would either bring in pieces of evergreen trees into their households, pines, spruces, all these things, to kind of bring in the life into their house. Or there is the whole, a lot of people would celebrate out in the forest. There was a thing before where people would decorate the trees outside, which I really love the idea of. Is like, as long as it's all biodegradable, like I would love to just like go out randomly in the woods and like decorate a tree. And back in my childhood home where I pretty much grew up the entire time, we didn't move a lot. I pretty much stayed in the same house since I was 2 all the way till I was 18. And in the backyard were these beautiful, gorgeous, giant pine trees. They represented that ever-growing, always just that majestic type of feeling. And I just remember going underneath them, and that part of our backyard was very romanticized for me. It was just this magical, gorgeous part. I remember living in Chicago and looking out to the trees and just seeing how beautiful they were, the gorgeousness of them, and seeing them covered in snow, and feeling like, oh, as when I was little I could like traipse around them and feel like I was playing in a forest for just a little bit. Just how heavy the branches would get with the snow, and like I never ever saw a branch break from it, but that encapsulated the winter wonderland idea to me. It was very much of, there has to be a pine tree covered in snow. Looking at nature in this way to really remember the rebirth and the ever consistentness of parts of nature and the universe. Because there are so many things that kind of cycle with life and death, and even trees do, they grow and then eventually they will fade and die. But I think having these symbols of realizing there are things that go on beyond us that don't take in the rest of nature, the seasons into consideration, like they just keep being green, they just keep going, is something that really intrigues me as well. I love the idea, for me being in the desert now, having the fake tree. I also have a bunch of fake garland all over my house, which is basically a whole bunch of fake pine branches decorated with lights all throughout my house. And it didn't really feel like winter until I had these things. The candles I burn all around me right now are pine scented, this evergreen scent, that fresh, that ooh. And I think that idea that scent is marked to us as fresh, as a new, as it kind of encapsulates the regrowth that comes in with this time of the year. Even when you look into Christianity with this is the day Jesus was born, supposedly. Not really, but the day that so many people see it as, that it is the idea of rebirth. It is the idea that, okay, this is, everyone wants to kind of take this time to focus on the idea of newness and everlasting all in the same time, which I think is a fun dichotomy, and like it's a little bit of polar opposites. Like something is forever growing, forever going on. It lasts even through a big old winter, yet evergreen. We're also thinking about rebirth at this time of the year. We're thinking of the sun coming back. We're thinking of these themes. But then behind us we have this kind of, it's almost a symbol of immortality in a way when I think about it like that. It is such a symbol of the winter. Arizona, that's not the case. A lot of places are green. This is kind of like our second spring is now here. Everything is in bloom. Everything is like, oh my god, thank god the heat is gone. We can now grow again type of deal. But this is a marking of winter. And it really makes me think of that pine tree in my backyard, because that tree, it was green all year long, but in the summer I almost paid no mind to it. It didn't really even come into my focus until everything else was barren and gone and cold. Like, until it was covered in snow, it never really came into my focus. It wasn't a thing that I was always looking at. And so I kind of wonder, are there certain parts during this time of the year that I need to refocus on? Are there parts that make me go, oh, because everything else has been cast away, because everything else has been silenced, because it's cold, because it's all like, what are the things I can now focus on for this time of the year that are actually there, strong, evergreen, all the time, but they're brought into hyper focus during this time? And wondering, are there other times I could focus on it? Like the tree is just as green during the midsummer, during the spring, during the fall. It is always there. I could take a moment any time of the year to focus on that thing. Yet why is it this time of the year that's when it is really brought into the collective consciousness, I guess? When is it when everyone is kind of like, ooh. So this is part of my 12 days to Yule, and these are my thoughts on the evergreen tree and the Yule tree and the Christmas tree and all of those things. And so I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.